Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Second of all, I want to give double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And third of all, I want to give a peace and safety to the hopeful elect out there, the brothers that push this truth, the truth of the King James Bible, and all truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. Alright, so I just want to do a short lesson of how alone the spirit of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai allows it to go. And I want to name the video, "The Lord is speeding up the times," all right, or the Lord is speeding things up. And Lord Wills, brothers can see on the screen, I have this article here from the Zero Hedge, and it says de-dollarization kicks into high gear. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just read it. It says the U.S. dollar is essential to the U.S. global power projection, but in 2022, which was last year, all right, the dollar shares of reserve currency slid 10 times faster than the average in the past 2 decades. It is now established that the U.S. dollar status as a global reserve currency is eroding. Right, so the Most High is speeding up. Is basically bringing down the U.S. currency faster. It said again, and ultimately all global currencies, because they're trying to push. Well, they are going to push all physical cash and debit cards and credit cards and things like that out of the way and go to a full force digital system, which we all know what that's going to be, the microchip technology. All right, it's going to replace the currency, the money, the paper money, and all of that. Again, the U.S. dollar is essential to the U.S. global power projection, and that also means the Most High is bringing America down, because the only thing that that keeps America's foot on these other nations pretty much was the petrodollar and the threat of military force and the Most High, and that's pretty much come to an end because we see the Saudis getting ready to dump the U.S. dollar completely. They're already talking about accepting other currencies for their oil and all that, the OPEC nations for their oil and things like that, for something other than U.S. currencies. All right, which they may still accept them, but they're going to accept other currencies as well. So if these nations, like I said before, through the spirit and poverty, how about Shemi Shai in the past, if these other countries hate America, and I can buy oil and things like that for other currencies and gold and silver or whatever, then why would I use U.S. dollars? I'm not going to use U.S. dollars if I hate America. I'm going to use other currencies. All right, like the Chinese yuan and yen and things like that, or some other peso or something like that. I'm going to use that. I'm not going to use U.S. dollars. All right, because I hate America. I don't want to deal. These other nations out there don't want to deal with America. Period. A lot of these other nations, so they'll use other currencies if the OPEC nations accept them, which they are about to. All right, accept other currencies outside of the U.S. dollars for the oil and for the oil. All right, for oil. All right, so it's coming to an end, man. And all these other nations out there, they ain't afraid of America anymore. You got nations like North Korea and all that been threatening America to bomb America. You know, certain other nations out there. All right, they're not afraid of America's military anymore, man. All right, and plus you got they're teaming up with nations like Russia and China and India, and nations like that have, you know, pretty much super militaries. They can lock horns with America. All right, and ultimately we know all these nations are going to join together right along with NATO and the EU and destroy America. All right, but it says the U.S. global power projection, but in 2022, the dollar shares of reserve currency slid 10 times faster than average in the past 2 decades. So the Most High is bringing it down quick. It is now established that the U.S. dollar status as a global reserve currency is eroding, meaning it's falling apart. When corporations, Western media begins to attack the multipolar world de-dollarization narrative in earnesty, you know that the panic in Washington has fully set in. Right, because they know it's coming to an end, which they all know. You know, it's all a plan to collapse all paper currencies to bring in the next system. All right. The numbers, the dollar shares of global reserve currency was 73% in 2021, 55% in 2022, 47% in 2022. 22. All right. The key takeaway is that last year the dollar share slid 10 times faster than average in the past 2 decades. Now it is no longer far-fetched to project a global dollar shares of 30% by the end of 2024. It may not even take that long, concluding within the next U.S. president election. The defining moment uh, that actually triggered leading to the fall of the hegemony was in February 2022, when our 300 billion in Russian foreign reserves were frozen by the collective West, and every other country on the planet began fearing for their own dollar stores abroad. There was some common relief in the absurdity move through the EU. Can't find most of it. Not clue, no clue to some current essential development on the trading front. Over 70% of trade details between Russia and China now use enough ruble for use either the ruble or the yuan, Salakia, according to Russian finance ministers Anton, no trying to pronounce his last name, and Russia and India are trading oil in rubles less than 4 weeks ago. Banco Barcom BNB became the first Latin American bank to sign up as a direct participant of the cross-border interbank payment system, CLIPS, which is the Chinese alternative to the Western-led financial message system SWIFT. Right, so they're opting to go with to to uh um to to use other currencies. It's already happening. They're opting to use other currencies to get down with the SWIFT system, with China's system, than to continue to do business with America. And again, once the U.S. dollar completely collapses, once Saudi Arabia comes out and says, look, what they already said, that their leader already said, we're not interested in pleasing America and nothing like that anymore. Once they fully come out and say that if you want to buy our oil or our resources for something else other than U.S. dollars, you can do so now. Once they do that and all them dollars pour back in reserve, which the elders and brothers have been saying this for some time, all right, again, like the elders always say, we sound like a broken record. But once that happens, once these nations um once that happens, once Saudi and them other OPEC nations say, OPEC whatever says, yeah, we'll accept other currencies outside of the U.S. dollar. All right, then all these dollars are gonna pour right back into the country, and that's when you're gonna see hyperinflation. All right, China NOOC and financial total signed for the first LNG trade in yuan via the Shanghai uh, Petroleum and Natural Gas Exchange. The deal between Russia and Bangladesh for the construction of the Rupert nuclear plant, Salakia, will also bypass the U.S. dollar. The first 300 million payment will be in yuan, but Russia will try to switch the next ones to ruble. All right, so see, there you go. Skip down, let's read this. Notable. Many of these trades involving BRIC countries and beyond. At least 19 nations have already requested to join BRICS. There you go. They're already looking to join the BRICS, man. All right, 19 countries are looking to join BRICS. The extended version of the 21st century, majority multipolar institution whose founding members are Brazil, Russia, India, China, and 10 in the South Africa. Foreign Minister of Original Five will start discussing the mobility of accessing new members in upcoming June summit in Cape Town. And I believe Saudi Arabia is definitely going to be one of them. BRICS is as standing as our, and once that happens again, they join BRICS and they say, look, well, we'll still accept U.S. dollars, but we're going to be willing to accept other currencies as well, other payments as well. And again, if these nations hate America, they don't want to deal with America anymore. Why would they continue to use U.S. dollars? They're not. You got America's allies like France and all them. They're doing. They're looking to do deals with the BRICS nations. Which that Daniel the second chapter coming to pass about the 10 toes breaking up. All right. So it's over for America, man. All right. Where was I? The BRICS as it stands is already more relative to the global relevant. It's like to the global economy than the G7. The last IMF figure revealed that the existing five BRICS nations will contribute 32% to the global growth compared to G7's 29.9%. With Iran, Saudi Arabia, there you go, the UAE, Turkey, Indonesia, and Mexico as a possible new member, it is clear that the key global southern players are starting to focus on the quietness of multi-institution capital Salakia of smashing Western hegemony. All right, Russian President Vladimir Putin and the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman (MBS) are working in total sync as Moscow partners with Rahid, if I pronounced that right, and OPEC. Messiism, like a struggle saying that word. Into BRICS, in parallel to the depending Russian-Iran strategic partnership. Right, so, and that's the deal breaker there. Saudi Arabia joins, all right, because they already got beef with America over that whole Afghanistan situation. They've been pissed at America ever since that situation went down. They'll easily, just say, well, or they could just come out and say, look, we're just going to, if you want to buy resources, you got to use the yuan, the digital, you got to use the yuan, or you got to use the Russian ruble. That's what the BRICS, that's our two top currencies. You got to deal, you want to do that, if you want to buy oil, you got to use those two things. All right, or like I said, they could still use U.S. dollars, but they say we'll accept other currencies outside of the U.S. dollar for our oil, and that would destroy the petrodollar. And again, that's when you can see all these dollars pull back into America. All right, that's what it's all going to lead to, and you're going to see hyperinflation, prices of everything out of control, and then sooner or later, these people in America will resort to stealing. All right, people go in dollar stores and steal now. All right, they're going to, because people are hurting that bad. They're going to dollar stores and stealing, or stealing something that's $5 or $6 or $8. They're going there and steal that now. So imagine when something is $20 or $30 overpriced, what they're going to do. They're going to go in there and steal it, man. All right. So the Lord again, the de-dollarization kicks into hyper gear. All right, like Edith always said, the Most High is finna put this thing in a hyper overdrive. Like Edith always said, so like the Most High finna kick this thing into hyper overdrive, which he is. Again, de-dollarization kicks into high gear, meaning it's speeding up. And the Most High is doing that for the elect's sake, man. So yeah, man, it's over for this place, man. It's over for the whore, America, Babylon the Great. All right, nobody's afraid of the military might anymore, or nothing. The only thing stopping America from being destroyed is prophecy, man. Other than that, if it was up to Russia, China, they could have been destroyed America a long time ago. You got women wearing skirts, and you got men that want to be women wearing skirts, top generals in your army. None of your soldiers are really soldiers. You got planes that can't fly. I just saw another video that said they had to land two of their helicopters. Another article, so like that said they had to land two of their helicopters because they crashed into each other. It's a joke, man. Like tanks don't work, planes can't fly. All right. Again, you got men that want to be women, top generals in your military wearing skirts that are men. All right. You little dorks that graduate high school and all of that, they're not soldiers, man. They go into the army, they're not soldiers. All right, they just want to go to school or trying to somewhat make some kind of living for themselves or whatever. They're not real soldiers, man. Them other nations like Russia, they were bred to be soldiers, man. All their life they've been training. It's a true legacy of soldiers. Their great grandfather was soldiers. All right, the people in they were bred to be soldiers, man. All right, so if only thing stopping America from being destroyed is the prophecy of the Karagma, and the Most High is about to bring that to pass. So America's days is definitely numbered, man. Y'all about Shimmy Shah about to bring that to pass. So the days of this bitch, America is done, man. America's time is almost up. All right. This is St. Matthew chapter 24. Let's go to St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. And the fact that the Most High is speeding up the destruction of the U.S. dollar and other global currencies shows that the Most High is speeding up the time, because we need the Karagma to come to pass, and the fulfillment of the dollars of the all currencies crashing and being done away with, and the ushering in of the Karagma. That's the Most High speeding up the time. So the fact that the Most High is speeding up the dollarization, all right, this whole speeding up the dollarization thing, all right, shows that the Most High is speeding up time, man. So like for the elect's sake. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. And again, the Most High is shortening the days for the elect. All right? And we got to pray, man. We got to pray like crazy, man. The Most High brings this thing to pass sooner than later, man. Because I was watching a video with the up-and-coming elder, Amon Uncle Bar, and he said something heavy. He said, man, if the Most High thing is speeding up the time, how much longer can we last here, man? I mean, the scripture says it is of the Lord's mercies that we're not consumed, so however long we need to be prolonged, the Most High is going to look out for his men. But things is getting worse here, man. Things are just getting more vexing. so on and so forth. The cost of everything is going up like crazy. Work is killing us, and all, and so on and so forth, man. So, like the elder Amon Kabar said, how much longer can we survive here? All right, so the Most High has to speed up the times, man, to get us up out of here sooner rather than later. All right, this is Second Ezra chapter 2. Man, what is that? I might have passed it, so I can. That was it might be further up. Right, because the scriptures say pray for fewer days until you slack it. Let me find it. Might be in. No, I'm skipping right over it, man. Ain't down that far. Shalak, brothers. Let me find this precept real quick. Shalaki.